What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. We had quite the contentious panel yesterday, and we had quite the contentious game. Probably the best game of the year so far. Definitely the best game of the playoffs. JSU, let's start with you. What did you think about the NBA action last night?
Man, I loved it. First of all, we had one of the best games all year, for sure. That Denver-Portland game was by far the best game I've watched. Some stupid coaching decisions and just decisions in general in that game, may I add. Crazy how it, shook out, too, where, Denver got up, 20 immediately, and, Portland came out so, lackadaisical, didn't seem ready to play, and then they come roaring back in the second quarter, make it a game at halftime, and then it's just kind of that back and forth style with these two teams the rest of the game, and some really awful coaching decisions that I think all of us will probably agree on, and I haven't even talked to you guys about it yet, so I'm interested in your takes on that side. For sure. So I'm ready to take my lap on all the Portland backers that were, on the show, in the chat, maybe Mr. Titletown, if you're there, thank you for my $300 back. I will take it back. I love getting the title bucks too. So I was down to him. He got me on one bet. So I'm lucky. I got my money back. See, he wasn't a smart bettor. See, guys, when you get money from someone like me, you got to just take it. You got to take it and run. You don't leave it in there and try and bet again and try and win more. You got to take it, Title. That was a rookie move by you.
I don't mean to interrupt your victory lap, but they just announced that Embiid tore his meniscus.
Oh, he's done. That's sad.
Yeah,
for how long?
It says small meniscus tear. He's out for Game 5. It doesn't say longer, but that's a tough injury, isn't it?
Yeah, he's out.
He's out because it's just going to be one of them things. If he goes out there and tries to run around, he's just going to slowly tear it till it's fully torn.
They're not going to risk him.
I'm not a doctor or anything, so I know these guys play through stuff. I just Googled it. It said 6 to 8 weeks, but why is it just Game 5? That's longer than that. That's not – when I read small meniscus tear, I was like, okay, why does it say Game 5? That's why I was very confused. It should just say the whole series, but I guess he's trying to hold out hope. But how on earth could he play through that?
I don't think he can.
I was about to say.
But also it says he's day to day.
I've seen people tear their meniscus before and get up and walk around. It's pain. I'm sure it's painful, but I don't know about playing in a basketball game. That seems kind of crazy. But I don't think he's going to play, so I don't think we have to worry about it. But anyways, before I got interrupted from my victory lap, the last thing I have to say is, guys, 3/4 of the way through this show, I might need to go get treatment. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to, when I feel like I'm done, I'm going to leave and get some treatment on my body to get rested up. Cause I got 2 more shows on the RPS network. So I need some treatment. I can't just be on this show for hours. So I might just let you guys wrap it up towards the end. I might leave before the best bets segment, let you guys wrap it up and go get some treatment on my body. Cause I've been sleeping on the couch the last week or 2 with my dog who just had surgery. So, my back is killing me a little bit.
Yeah, JSU was drinking wine for Taco Tuesday last night, but hopefully he can make it through the whole show.
Shout out Travis. To Gregory Russo too. He's giving me shit about the Lakers.
You knew he was going to.
Right. Oh no. And I'm here for that too. I was wrong on the Lakers. Obviously it was a contrarian take. I was wrong on it though. So I'll take my L with the Lakers for sure. LeBron, all those guys, they didn't come ready to play. They got smacked in the mouth. So those of you that were on the Suns, congrats. That was the right move. And it's all right. I'll take my 2-1. I'll take it. I knew where the public was. I knew everyone was on the Suns.
Yeah, and I definitely want to get your thoughts for Game 6 before we finish today. But, Travis, let me get your thoughts basically on what we saw yesterday, just to touch on JSU, right? All-time game from Damian Lillard, right? And I'm just sitting there thinking, how is Denver going to win against this guy? It's just unbelievable. But then Jokic made what to me was the best play of the game, when he got double teamed in the post and he throws it over 3 defenders to get the wide open 3 in the corner. Just unbelievable from both sides there. I mean, talk about a super team. We need Lillard and Jokic on the same team. What were your thoughts last night, Mangone?
Yeah, wild game. Absolutely awesome. Like, it felt like an all-timer, no doubt. It was nice to see. So, like, the number one key in this series to me, and like Lillard's like the best player on Portland, right? Like, no doubt. But Nurkic is a huge key because he really stops Jokic, right? Or at least makes it an issue for him. Like, there's a lot of Nurkic is so much importance to that team. And we saw it yesterday. So even though Damian Lillard was absolutely on fire, they still couldn't get it done because Nurkic wasn't in there. And the second they went to overtime and I knew that there was no Nurkic and Robert Covington had 5 fouls, I instantly bet the Nuggets because I was like, oh, this is the spot for the Nuggets. I don't even care. Like, if I lose to Damian Lillard going off, so be it. And he went off and I still didn't lose, right? So it still shows how important Nurkic is to this team. And he needs to stop fouling. He has to figure it out. I mean, they're not going to go, to the next round without him, staying out of foul trouble. It's just plain and simple. So he has to figure that out. Overall, the Blazers have looked good. Seems like the Blazers have a good shot at obviously winning that next game. Hopefully Dame can get a little bit of help. And then hopefully we get a game 7. I mean, a game 7, like with the game we saw last night, would just be absolutely phenomenal to watch with everything on the line. Dame going off, Jokic going off. I mean, that's what we all want. Hopefully we get blessed with that. So hopefully Portland wins the next game. And then LeBron, yeah, I mean, Father Time is undefeated. I don't know if that's like the time. I don't know if it's, ticking. But it did not look good for LeBron James out there. But he didn't have much help too, right? Like, the guys did not give him any help out there. KCP, Kyle Kuzma, Drummond, Dennis Schroeder. It wasn't pretty on their side. So I'm curious to see how that all shakes out. But ultimately, it was a fun time. Nets look good also. They're going to be tough to beat. I can't wait for that Nets and Bucks series. And I'm excited to kind of break down these games coming up. Hopefully, I hope Embiid's okay, but it doesn't sound good. And I hope we can get a good finish to this all. It sounds like this next round in the East is going to be really good for that Nets and Bucks series. And then the West Coast, man, the West Coast is pretty open. And that typically is not the case. So typically we know who's going to get to the, Western Conference Finals. We know it's 2 juggernauts duking it out. There's a couple guys that can get there, but it feels a lot more wide open. So I'm excited.
All right, and Tyler, I want to get your thoughts, but first I have to ask, Big T, what did you think of the Nuggets last night? And
where's those Nuggets? Where's those Nuggets fans at? Nuggets fans stand up! Woo, Mangone!
Tony, the best news about it is when overtime, I don't know if you were listening, I got on the Nuggets. I said, no Nurkic.
No,
last night,
I said Nuggets. No. I was Big T. I'm sitting with the crew, right? We're in a group chat together, and we said when they tied it up, we said, "Quick, we know how important Nurkic is. He's out. Covington 5 fouls." We said we got Portland to win the series, but that's okay. This isn't the last game of the series. We'll win this money, and then Portland will go home and take that one, and then we'll walk into Denver.
Try to get in on this.
We'll steal Big T's money. Get out of here. New York. We're gonna steal your money, Big T.
Mango, you're not allowed to talk right now. Get out of here. Classic Mango jumps off the Nuggets.
It's a smart betting move. I understand the games. I watch them. I know how important Nurkic is. He's the key.
I thought we were fixing your name, JSU. Why does it still say JSU AirPod? You gave me a commitment today.
JSU gave best bet as Denver, and so I'm sitting in the winner circle today. I don't give a shit about JSU AirPods. I got Gregory Russo in the chat calling me out for my Lakers take. Mr. Gregory Russo must always pick favorites and has no actual, contrarian take. So get out of here, Gregory Russo, with that crap. Denver was my best bet. Go check the friggin' tape from yesterday. You should be betting the best bets, not the leans that we have.
All right. Well, Tyler, let me ask you about yesterday real quick. I mean, Dame Lillard had absolutely no help. Is C.J. McCollum just Lou Williams with the podcast? What'd you think?
I mean, after some of the injuries he's taken, he is getting old too. But, he doesn't step on that out-of-bounds line. Covington doesn't miss a dunk. Nurkic doesn't get into foul trouble, and they don't sleep through that first quarter. We might have a different game, but that was one of the best games to watch. I'm not even mad I lost that bet. I'll take that loss.
You got to give props to Covington for a missed dunk for each first-round pick that Portland gave up for him yesterday. Yeah. So really tough for Dame Lillard there, but we were on the Nuggets. We're pretty happy about that and excited. We'll jump into that one because it's cool to have the whole crew here. But Big T, let me start with you on tonight. Washington catching 6 points at home. Joel Embiid is out. How are you approaching this game?
So is the line back up? Is that what it is?
Let me double check. 6 was before we got the news.
But I think either way, like, I don't see how you don't bet Washington now. I mean, Washington has been a moneymaker for us the entire season, ever since they got rolling. I mean, maybe not early in the year, but ever since they got rolling, they've printed. I think they've made me more money than anybody in the NBA this year. They might be the better team with them beat out. I don't know. The points is a gift. I will definitely be on Washington tonight.
Yeah, Washington 22-13 against the spread on the road this year. JSU, what are you thinking? Are you with Big T? Are you going to take the points with Washington? And I see it's up to 6.5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the points with Washington. Just without Embiid, there's not as much rim protection, and that's going to help Russ's game for sure. And it's going to help the bigs too from Washington, who we saw like kind of get going a little bit. Danny Gafford was blocking shots and running the floor and doing a little damage, even though he got some early foul trouble. Finally, they decided to give him a start and to actually give him real run, which was intriguing and I think good for Washington for sure. Because if he wasn't in foul trouble, he would have for sure got 30-plus minutes in that game. And he was a key to their run late in the regular season. Like, he was one of – when that trade happened, that was kind of when Washington started rolling. And he was only getting like 15 to 20 minutes a night, and it varied. So I like a lot that they adjusted to starting him. And Rui picked it up a little bit. They're going to need those guys. You know what I mean? Those guys are key. And Embiid being out, man, the Sixers are going to struggle a lot more, I think. So give me Washington plus the points.
All right, Travis, we got 3 for Washington now. What are you thinking? Are you backing Ben Simmons, or are you going to be with us?
I do think, the 6 is a lot. I think I'm going to be on the Washington side. 6 is just too much at this point, right? I think this line should probably – I think I would still make Philly the favorite, especially at home, right? Like, if I was, like, making, a line myself, and I'd probably make it like,
3.
Like 3, yeah. I was thinking between 2 and 4. I don't know what the exact number should be. Again, when you're setting a line, right, you're not setting what you think the line should be. You're setting what you think the action will be able to get on each side. Again, Philly's at home. Here's a question I have, because I was arguing with the chat on this, and I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I think it's a good conversation. So Philly's up 3-0, right? Embiid goes down. They're doing the hack of Simmons thing. Do you guys think Washington, do you think Washington can come back and win this series now? Because, that's a lot of games to win. 3 games, and you have to win 2 on the road. What price would you bet the Wizards? Obviously, you wouldn't bet the Wizards, straight up, minus 110, minus 110. But what line would you bet Washington at to win this series? Is it 10-1? Is it 8-1? I don't know what the exact price is, or even if it's up, but what line do you guys have on that for the entire series that you think you'd bet?
Well, let me see what we got for the series there. I was thinking it'd be somewhere around. Oh, it's plus 1,400 right now.
Would you guys bet plus 1,400 for them to win the series?
I would.
Yeah, I don't think 1,400 is bad. I know someone said like Tony, what line? Because I was debating this with my buddies. I think it's an interesting conversation. Like 10-1 was something that my buddy wanted, and I was like, I don't like 10-1. I think 14-1 gets more interesting. But
I'm the worst to ask stuff like this because I'm so much more of a feel guy. I'm not like I'd bet it at 9-1, but not 10-1. I just think I look at the price and I just think if it's a good price. I don't know what the number would be, but I would definitely bet it where it's at 13 or 14-1. The thing is, if they win tonight, which we all think they can, I assume, with them beat out the news, then they only got to win at home, and then anything can happen in Game 7. You can even hedge in Game 7. So I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, that's a great call, by the way. Maybe instead of betting, betting on the Wizards tonight to win, or you could bet both, right? Bet the 14-1, and then you have those, then they're at home, and you have the hedge opportunities, right? So these are great things to talk about on a betting show. So you got
the 2 best players, right? You got the 2 best players all of a sudden. You're going to give me 13-1, and I got the 2 best players in the game. Yeah, they probably won't win 3 in a row. I doubt they. 4 in a row, counting the one they just won. I doubt they win the series, but we'll have hedge opportunities.
The thing I'm wondering too for DFS, so Dwight Howard. I mean, a lot of these Sixers are going to be popular, right? Tobias, Simmons. How are they going to run Dwight Howard and Ben Simmons? Like, you can't, right? So it's like you have to kind of stagger them as much as possible, because if you run those two together, it's an absolute disaster. I think the only way you can really run that combo is if you like run more Tyrese Maxey, and I guess you throw Simmons in the corner. But the problem is you can sag off and then go down low very easily because Simmons can't shoot. So I don't know how to handle Dwight Howard in DFS, because if Simmons is going to get 40 minutes, Dwight's not going to get 20, right?
I mean, I think the game goes small for sure.
Dwight didn't seem to be too effective against that lineup there.
Yeah. They need a guy like Maxey or Korkmaz or someone like that to be hitting shots. Like, they
the worst part was I was going to play. Maxey was like my favorite play of the day, like in my default lineup. Before the Embiid news, I was in love with Maxey because he played 22 minutes. He looked good. And now he's just like, I mean, he's going to crush tonight. I mean,
you have to play him. I mean, he's a stone. Like, he's a guy I don't think you fade. Like, there's obviously good chalk, bad chalk, but I think today it's a 4-game slate. Maybe some people talk themselves out of him, but he's a really
good George Hill love.
He's a
I
hooper,
like George Hill too. Yeah,
George Hill's a good one.
Maxey's a hooper though. Like, he's the one who can actually create, get his own shot, get to the rim. Like, he could actually have a big number tonight. And I don't think anyone here would be shocked if he actually dropped like 15 or 20 real points.
I mean, even higher. I wouldn't be shocked if he scored 30 tonight. Like, I know that's a high number. He's not going to get that. I wouldn't be shocked, though, if he got hot and scored 30.
I don't think George Hill can do that. Yeah. Like, I think George Hill can give you a decent game, but could he give you the upside of Maxey? Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But he can cover for Shake Milton, because Shake Milton is not it, man. I mean, they know he's not it, and they're going to replace basically the Shake Milton minutes that you've seen in the regular season are kind of going to get more replaced, I think, by a George Hill. And you might see Ben Simmons just go more down low and be more like the 4, and they might just try to do like the small ball stuff. And that could make a lot of sense for what the Sixers should want to do. Of course, obviously having Ben Simmons down low isn't the most ideal, but this plays into the Wizards too well, like Real Neto, right? They want to do those 3-guard lineups, so he should get a little bit more run. They lost Bertan, so obviously they're okay with not having as many big lineups. They can go a bit smaller. You guys are probably right. It's probably going to go a little smaller, and I don't know if that makes us like the over a little bit, because if you're going smaller,
I was just going to say that. Like, I think it becomes a way better over. There's without Embiid in the middle, it makes Westbrook a way better play too. I mean, all the offense becomes way better plays. So, what was the total before the Embiid news?
I don't think the total really moved.
It was 229.5, and now
it's still 229.5.
It hasn't moved at all without Embiid in there.
Well, they always knew.
They had him out. He was doubtful.
I
don't think this game. I think the series price might be affected, but not the game. And
but Tyler, it was 6.5 too. Like, they never counted him in.
Yeah. Tyler, so far, everyone on the panel likes the Wizards, right? It sounds like one of Holden's old radio shows. We all love the Wizards so much. What do you think of this game? Are you going to take Philly?
No, there's no way I'm touching Philly. I think if you're going to take a side, you have to take Washington with the points.
We're probably all going to lose too. we're fishermen. Philly's going to play good.
Sometimes it is a little worrying when everyone likes.
I got a problem on the Philly side that I like though.
I'll say this: we don't know what Embiid's status is. How much more fun? And I know it would suck for the Eastern Conference final, but how much more fun would the second round be if we can get Atlanta versus Washington? Like, Atlanta versus Washington could be like a really fun series to watch, unlike just watching like Embiid and having to deal with his injury stuff for DFS.
I think Embiid is in big trouble. I mean, he's a big dude. Yeah. They said it's a torn MCL or whatever. Even if it's partially torn, he's a big dude.
Slowly tear it as he plays.
I mean, I think we might not see him again this postseason.
That's why I'm saying I kind of selfishly, as like a fan, like not betting or anything, and like maybe for DFS wise, I kind of want Washington to win out, because I think Atlanta, Washington would be super fun to watch.
Yeah, and I would stack that game every single time.
Yeah,
well, it's hard to
that
stack
would be set at like 237. Everything else would be like 214.
We already get the overs in the other series too. Milwaukee and Brooklyn. We're going to pound all over.
Brooklyn going on. Brooklyn and the Bucks. Like, I mean,
the thing with Brooklyn though is,
Brooklyn's going to switch all their usage. I mean,
and you know where they're coming from. It's 3 studs. You can't really stack Brooklyn. It's hard to do. You got to pick 1 or 2 studs. You can't. like have like 4 or 5 Brooklyn guys, in my opinion, like most of the time. That's a problem.
All right, Tyler, give me your prop for this Washington game.
Oh yeah, but we think the game's going to go small, and Tobias Harris has grabbed 6 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 13 and 13 in the series. They lined him at 8.5. I think he goes way over that number.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that too. So I'll place that right now. Let me head over to Bet Online where I've been doing those props and jump in on that. And then if that's enough for that game, I want to get into the one that I know that we're not going to agree on. And I'll start with you, Tony. The Knicks play the Hawks here. Man, we were pretty high on the Knicks to start the series. JSU and I, Mangone and Tyler both like the Hawks. So far, they've been dancing on us and making it rain here. What do you think? Did the Knicks get it done in the Garden tonight, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I got to give the dub to those guys here. I was definitely wrong. I thought the Knicks were the better – maybe not the better team, but I thought they would be more ready for the spot. I was wrong. They're definitely not. I can't take the Knicks tonight. I don't love this game. It's one of those games I struggle to bet for sure. I mean, 3-1. It is 3-1, right? Yeah, it's 3-1. Right, so close that game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just hate these spots. Like, Atlanta's clearly the better team. The Knicks are at home fighting for their life. I don't know. It's just a lean, but I would lean Atlanta. I definitely don't like this game, though. I won't bet it. I was wrong about the series, too. I will be stunned if the Knicks win the next two, let alone 3 games.
All right. Well, Joey Work thinks it's going Knicks in 7. JSU, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think I was more wrong about Randall and being ready for this type of series and everything like that, because he's one of the big reasons. He's struggled this entire series. The last game he was a little better, but still this entire series they've had his number, and that he was the key to that team. The entire regular season, he was the key, and he needed to be the best player on the floor, one of the 2 best players on the floor, and he hasn't been that the entire series. So Knicks can't win if their best player isn't one of the 2 best players on the floor. They got Derrick Rose, who's the best player for them on offense this entire series. That can't be the case. You can't be Julius Randle or RJ Barrett and letting, Derrick Rose, who's good. I'm not saying he's bad, but it can't be him being the number 1 option. It's got to be one of those guys, and it has been. That's what's killed the Knicks, I think, a lot for this series. I'm going to stick it out that this game, they win this game, but I'm not 100% confident on it or anything like that. I'm not completely off the ship, but I will say this is the game. If any game the Knicks win, it's tonight in Madison Square Garden. So give me the Knicks here, but not very confident, I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, Julius Randle was a big reason of the handicap. I mean, he absolutely destroyed John Collins in the regular season. I mean, the numbers he put up against Atlanta specifically, and I thought that because of the lack of playoff experience that the regular season would translate more to the playoffs. That has not been the case. I'd say he's played 1 good half out of 8 games. And Mangone, I think JSU brings up a great point. If you're handicapping this game, it comes down to, do you think that Julius Randle can bounce back? We've come on the show for 4 different games and said, Julius Randle's got to bounce back. He's got to do better. He's got to do this. We haven't seen it. At what point do we just say, hey, he's not going to bounce back and bet Atlanta? I'm not really sure what to do here. This is the easiest game for me not to get involved with tonight, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're late to the party. Like, you should have said it after game 1. I mean, these regular season tryhards, I mean, that's just what they are. And when teams lock up and play some defense, I mean –
Mangone, I don't flip-flop after 1 game, all right? That's not how I roll, okay? I'm not going to do that. I'm not pulling the Dallas Clippers. Oh, after 1 win, let's all jump off the ship. That's Mangone. He jumps off the ship after 1 game. It's the
big guys. Big team. I mean, big team. JSU, that was an abusive relationship with the Clippers I was in. They've abused me more than once.
And now you're trying to jump back on the Clippers train. I bet. I haven't talked to you yet about that game, but I guarantee you're on the Clippers. Like, there's no doubt in my mind you're on the Clippers for that game.
Yeah, I'll explain why. We'll talk about that. But again, it was JSU. It was a very hurtful. I had the PTSD of like last year because I was like thought the Clippers were certainly fine. I mean, it was not pretty. Sometimes JSU, you're a little. We'll talk about that when we get there. Let me talk about the Hawks and make fun of you. So, you thought that Julius Randle could get the job done. You thought that Julius Randle could be your king. He is not your king. He is terrible. Clint Capella, I don't know if you guys heard his press conference, but he was talking, and he said, we're sending them on vacation. Like, we're going to go to the Garden and send them packing. So it's going to be 1-2-3 Cancun for the Knicks. See you guys later. I feel good about the Hawks. They're clearly the better team. Trae Young gets spit on, and he doesn't even press charges. He says, that's fine. Spit on me all you want. I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to get buckets and send you guys packing. And that's what we're going to do. We're sending you packing, Joey Work. We're eating Hector's lunch. We're eating Bobby's lunch. A-Banks, Big T. We're beating Redmonds. I got all the people in the Discord chat that's coming at me. My boy Joey, he left the Garden. Not Joey Work, my buddy Joey. He goes, he left the Garden after game 2. I feel so good about the Knicks. Let's do a dinner bet. Okay, that's easy money. I mean,
Mangone's my new favorite trash talker. I love how he gets everybody going.
It's absolutely my favorite.
I'm 37 people.
I'm sending every single lunch or dinner bet that I have. I am sending a picture and adding you on Twitter. And
I still don't know how you bet every single one of those people and not me. Like, now I feel left out.
I got no JSU AirPod box, Mangone.
He wouldn't bet me. He said he already bet like a ton of people. He wouldn't bet me. He could have had JSU bucks. If they won, I offered it. He was like, "Nah, man, I already got a ton of people that."
Oh, man, go.
So, JC, let me explain how it all went down. So, I was gonna hit you up, and then Sunday morning before the game, I was kind of getting ready to text you, and I get a Big T text, and I go, "Wait, what's he texting about?" And I open it up, and it says, "I want the Knicks," like right before the game, and I said, "Oh, so I'm not gonna text JSU because I don't know how much we're putting on it." So we threw that in there and got it going. So if Big T didn't show up, you definitely would have. But hey, you got away with it. It's okay, JSU.
So millionaire maker Big T was the guy who got you off JSU bucks. Well, you didn't know how much Big T was trying to get you for.
Well, it's Big T's trying to own the crew, and we're trying to own him.
You never know. He could just throw out that like 10K like he did title in the Discord today. I mean, like 10K just spot. I'll show you 10K. I'll bet you guys.
You love to see it.
I think we need to chip in and buy Mangone a Kwame Brown jersey after he just named off anyone who ever disrespected him in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Tyler,
let's get him a Kwame jersey.
Tyler, let me get your thoughts on this game tonight. You are a Knicks fan, but I saw you on Twitter proclaiming this series was over after game 3. Joey Work was not happy with you. Are you willing to stick with your guns here? Do you still think it's over?
I mean, I caught all that slack for saying it was over. I've watched this team all year. I knew them the best. We even sat here on the show. We said, throw the regular season out. None of the teams were trying. And then me and Mangone caught all this shit for going against the one team that was trying in the regular season. It's over tonight. Trae Young goes for a big game. He wants to end it in the Garden. He's going to put up 30+, and this game's over.
Curtains, baby. Get those curtains
Just
out.
because they're in Madison Square Garden doesn't help them space the floor. They can't space the floor whatsoever.
You guys had a good point, too. I give you guys credit because I hate the teams that overtry during the regular season. You guys were on it. I can't believe I fell for the trap. I hate these teams that play their ass off all season. Oh, God. You guys were right. I'll give you guys the dub here.
I think it's just that we thought the Hawks sucked.
Well, I thought Randall was going to abuse that college matchup.
I'm taking the L. I'm not like JSU AirPod. I'm just taking the L.
I'm not taking the L until I actually lose. You're already proclaiming you lose.
We're not going to win
you in the Mangone boat. Don't make me put you in the Mangone boat.
No, because I won't circle back. I'll have to take a double L if I lose both directions. I'll have to take another freaking L.
When I lose, I'll give them credit.
I'm taking the Hawks tonight. Let's go, boys. Let's go. It's not a lean anymore. I'm taking the Hawks.
He's Mangone overtime betting the Nuggets last night. He's now Mangone.
JSU, if this somehow does go 6, don't make me go to Atlanta and watch you lose there.
I really want you to fly to Atlanta.
I kind of want to go to Atlanta. I'm not going to lie.
I want to too.
Now, wait a second. He's going to Atlanta. If it goes 6, I might be back on the Knicks tonight.
I said if it goes 6, I'll go there. I said I was talking to some buddies. They were like, if it gets there, I was like, I don't know if it's getting there. That's the problem. But I said if it gets there, I might go to a game.
I want to see pictures of Mangone in the ATL. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, I think this next game's gonna be pretty quick, but we do all the games. Memphis is catching 9.5 in Utah. I think we all agree that Utah will most likely win tonight. I think the 9.5 number is pretty good. That being said, I still lean towards Utah. The same idea that maybe we saw with Brooklyn last night, where the better team wants to get it over with, and they get that nice lead, and they sit on it. But I don't feel strong enough to go ahead and make a bet. The total 226. So, Big T, am I missing out on some value here? Should I be betting Utah, or is this Memphis' time to shine?
Yeah, I mean, you know how I am with these bigger spreads. I just don't. I don't know. I lean Utah a little bit, but Memphis has impressed me in this series. I know they haven't. What is the series? 3-1 too?
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, I mean
they won the first game without Mitchell.
The series has been better than 3-1, though. I mean, yeah, the Mitchell game, you can say whatever about that, but they've played good enough to compete in these other games, too. I thought they had no chance coming in. They've impressed me. They really have, but Utah's just got too much for them. I don't know. I think it's a good number, so I'm just going to say I lean Utah with spread, but I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis battles and keeps it within the number, so I definitely won't be betting this game. Probably not a ton DFS-wise for me either, even though it's been pretty good series for the DFS guys.
Yeah, I mean, no lead safe with this Memphis team. A lot of these games, right, Utah look like it's going to be an easy cover, and then Memphis is coming back in the third and fourth quarter here. Another concern before I would lay the points. JSU, what do you think? Do you think Utah absolutely rolls here, or is there some value maybe on this Memphis with the 9.5 number?
I mean, I agree with Tony that Memphis has definitely impressed me a little bit more this run. The problem is, and you can kind of see it in the games, right? As Donovan Mitchell starts to get more and more minutes and his production starts to become more and more, they just have no answer for him. Like he's just too tough for them to stop. I mean, I think Utah is going to win this game. I think the series is going to be over tonight. But can Memphis keep it within 9.5? I mean, it's possible. So I think it's a real toss-up. Like, I think it's very close. I might actually lean taking the points 9.5 with Memphis here. Their season is on the line. They're going to let their main guys play monster minutes, and they're going to, they got pride. Like, they're going to try and keep that game close. So I'll take the Memphis side here. But again, I mean, I think Utah does win this game. Like, the series is going to be over tonight.
All right, Travis, what do you think here? Grayson Allen revenge game?
Oh, Grayson Allen revenge game. You love to see it. No, I don't think the Grayson Allen revenge game matters too much here, but I will say Memphis has been very impressive, right? I mean, I definitely have, kind of like Tony said, like, got some respect for them. And I don't think they go down like, dying, right? They're a bunch of young guys. They're not just going to give up. It's their like first real playoff series together. So I'm not going out here and just making it a best bet or anything, but I definitely lean like Memphis here. I do think that's going to help the Utah side, like for DFS. Like, I think like some guys like Donovan Mitchell, like people really won't play him, and he does feel kind of pricey, but I wouldn't be shocked if Mitchell went for a big game. Don't even hate Rudy Gobert. I mean, it just depends. If it's a 4-game slate, the other problem with it is it seems like there's a lot of good value and there's like a lot of good spend ups. Like, sometimes you just fall into these slates where like Embiid is out, right? Like, it's hard to ignore like some of these Sixers guys at the top. So hard to get too excited about it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Donovan Mitchell went for like 55 to 60 fantasy points and the game was close. So I think it's just worth mentioning that alone, that if we have been impressed with Memphis, which I definitely have been, and we think they can keep it close enough where you're getting the full run from Utah, especially in a closeout game, I do really think that a guy like Donovan Mitchell in DFS could be interesting.
Yeah, and Tyler, one thing that we also have to wonder, will Ja Morant finally get that poster dunk he's trying over Gobert? Because he's been attacking him, and he's just been so close so many times. I'm still waiting for it. Tonight could be his last chance. So what do you think about that, and what do you think about Memphis catching 9.5?
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying like every game. He's eventually going to punch it in. So
he's going to.
It'll be all over ESPN for a couple weeks. But, I mean, 9.5 is a lot of points, I think, in this one. But I'm not going to bet the side. You could bet those player performance doubles on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
Donovan Mitchell, 25-plus in Utah to win, has just been money since he's come back. He scored 25 in that first game he was back. He only played 25 minutes. They upped him 4 minutes. He went up to 29. And that last game, he played 35 minutes, shot terribly, and scored 30.
Right. Yeah, because did you have a separate one, or was it someone on the prop? The last two got him over on a prop, I think, in the Discord.
Yeah, or it wasn't. I don't think it was in the Discord. I think it was just me and you talking back and forth.
Yeah,
there was that one prop.
Those last two.
Those last two free throws put him at 30. But yeah, I mean,
I think I like that prop
plus,
better than
30 plus. You get them both at plus money. I think both those props will win tonight.
This is one of the reasons.
What is this bet? It sounds good.
Mitchell 25 points plus the win, right? Over 25 plus the win.
Yeah, I would do 25 plus, and I would even do 30 plus.
What's the line though?
I see 30 plus is plus 200.
Oh yeah, sign me up for that.
Where that's on FanDuel, I'm assuming, right? Or where you get?
Yeah.
I never know where are those ones? I'm trying to bet it right now. Where do you?
It's on the right when you click on the game under the popular tab. Just scroll down. It'll say player performance doubles.
Oh yes, that's where they are. Cool. I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, I think I might have those on Bet Online too. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out.
And then a prop on the other side. You got to think Utah does everything to make anyone else but John Morant beat them. His assist prop is 7.5. He's gonna play 40 plus minutes. I think he goes over that.
All right.
The 25 plus in the win is minus 120, and the 30 plus is plus 200.
Yeah, I like the 30 plus way more.
Oh, you guys are getting so much better. At Bet Online, they're giving me plus 114 for the 30 plus.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that's
plus
good.
200 is crazy. Like, that's a crazy price.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
number.
for those 5 points, that is kind of wild. I mean,
yeah.
That means he's probably going to fall between 25 and 30.
He's going to score us 29 tonight.
Yeah.
The best about that is he's going to get probably more minutes tonight. His minutes have just been trending up. They're just going to keep going up. So he's probably going to see like 36
before too. Like,
he shot terrible in these 3 games.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing with Donovan Mitchell: when he's not shooting good, he just gets to the free throw line. He'll say, "Okay, that's fine. I'm missing outside shots. Let me just get to the hole and get fouled." Like, that's how good he is. He knows when he's just like, "I'm not hitting from the outside. I'm going to go be aggressive and get fouled." Like, what are you guys going to
do with Mitchell and DFS? Like, I actually like him, but like, there are obviously we talked about that Sixers Wizards game is going to be great. But what do you guys think of him? Because I do think he's a really interesting play that no one's going to be on.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you run it back with a Memphis guy, or you just run him by himself and like maybe do like a Wizards stack? And
what's the Anthony Melton at?
I'm playing Memphis guys.
Would you guys go back on Melton?
But who?
The Anthony Melton had a breakout game last time. I know he definitely had the fire next to his name. Do we go back to him, or is that just like a one-off?
I think we could have before the Philly value opened up. Once the Philly value opened, it's tough to play Melton over. He was so good in that last game, but he did make every shot and like. I don't know. You can't play him over the Philly unless you think Memphis can win or something. But
another reason why is they were at home, right? Like role players at home is kind of a thing. Like Melton's not at home.
And also too, if he's not hitting every shot, he's not going to get 22 minutes. He's going to go back to like 14 or whatever they were giving him before.
Like that's the reason I like these Sixers like role players too. Like the Maxies, like even another bump. Like Maxey being at home, like that's going to be good for him. You know what I mean? Like those guys at home, it matters a ton. I think so.
Harry in the chat brings up another good prop I want to talk to you guys about. Royce O'Neal over 1.5 threes. He's hit 4, 4, 3, and 1 in this series, and about 85% of his shots are coming from behind the 3 line. He's not shooting anything but threes, and all you need is 2 of them to fall.
That's because they're just leaving them wide open.
Is it? Yep. What's the juice on it?
And with all those shooters, that's the right decision.
110. I mean, that's not bad.
I'd rather have Royce O'Neal rather than Bogdanovich, Ingles, or Mitchell, right?
Even but I mean, he's dropping them in too, so and all you need is 2 of them to go in. I like that.
Yeah, I
don't mind that.
All right, well, let's jump into the last game. Big T, I'll start with you. Dallas catching 7.5. I love the 7.5 number. I want to get involved, but boy, how healthy is Luka here? He looked healthy at the beginning of the game. Seemed like he re-aggravated it during the game and wasn't 100%. And this seems to be a one-man team. That being said, you pinned me down. 7.5 seems way too high. This line should be like 3 or 4. I think I'll take Dallas anyways and just take the risk. What are you thinking about this game?
Yeah, I'm super anxious to watch this game more than any game today because I want to see Carlisle's adjustments to this small ball lineup. Mm-hmm. They can't keep running these big white stiffs out there against this small ball lineup or they're going to get blown out again. The issue is I don't really know what they can counter with. I keep saying this, but like Trey Burke, maybe he gets a start or something, some little small ball lineup. I have no idea the adjustment, but I do respect Carlisle as a coach as much as anyone. I think he can string something up for one game here. I like the points too. I'm anxious to see what Carlisle's got for us. I think it'll be very telling what lineup he starts with. And if he still rolls out this same freaking lineup, I'm going to be very worried about Dallas. I might even flip-flop and take the Clips if we see that same terrible lineup as a starting unit. I'll be very I don't care what it is. Give me any different lineup in there, and I'll like Dallas in this game. For now, I'll say I'm in with spread Dallas, but I'm anxious. I'm not going to bet anything big until I see this lineup. I want to see what they come with for us.
Yeah, and Ty Lue made that lineup adjustment before Game 3. I wasn't sure about it, right? I didn't know.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, more Reggie Jackson minutes? That didn't seem like a good idea. But, hey, he's got the championship, right? Give him some credit. Seemed to be the right call.
It's a great adjustment, too, right? Like, it changed the whole series.
And on paper, it didn't seem that way. But, these guys see these players in and out at practice every day,
right?
And they know what they're working on, too. We don't know what they're working on.
We got to give credit. I mean, when we kill these coaches when they do dumb stuff and it doesn't
It's just
work.
making Luka work harder on the defensive end, too, because, Pat Beverly's just standing in the corner. Luka's not expanding any energy on that defensive end. At least Reggie Jackson's going to attack the hole and make a move.
I've literally talked about this with all stars. Like, when you have a star on one end, he's just hooping on you offensively, you have to at least make him work on the defensive end. If you just let them stand in the corner with their guy, you're just giving them time to rest. It makes no sense. You need to actually go at those guys on do something. Post them up. Do anything. I don't care if they're smaller. Doesn't matter. Make them actually work. Put them in situations.
You know what the Hawks were doing a lot of is to Derrick Rose. They were doing that too, which made a lot of sense and got him.
They should.
Which was a sharp adjustment. I noticed that while I was watching the game. I was like, that was a good call. And that's a great call by Lou. I mean, you bring up great points there, JSU.
JSU, who do you like in this game? I'm leaning towards the 7.5. I don't know if I want to bet it now or I want to wait and just watch. Like, for example, yesterday when we saw Anthony Davis warming up, we know, okay, even if he plays, he's not going to make much of an impact. Are we trying to get some similar type of video here from Luka, or do we just assume that he's good to go and take the points? Or are you going to go the other way and lay it and just say, hey, he's not good to go, and Paul George is actually going to get a win here?
Here's my thing, and me and Tony actually discussed this on the phone a day or two ago, and I'm kind of with him. He said, I don't know if we can use the excuse of Luka being injured all the time because he's kind of always nicked up, right? And he's playing through stuff. We know he's playing through stuff all the time. So are a lot of NBA players. The one thing with Luka that people have to understand, his hot and cold thing that he has going on, it's because of the difficulty in which those shots he takes. They're so hard. And people watch like Dame Lillard yesterday and how he's just like, he makes those threes look so much easier than they actually should. Or Steph Curry. Like, Luka doesn't do that. Like, that's not Luka's game. He's not as quick with his, as Steph Curry is with the trigger and everything. So he's a little slower with his moves on top of the fact that he's taking those really difficult threes. I just think it's one of those things where sometimes they go in, and when they go in, he's going to have monster games. I don't care if he's injured. It doesn't matter. And when they're missing, like they have been the last game or two, they're going to struggle. Dallas is going to struggle. You can't run out friggin' Maxi Kleber, Kristaps Porzingis, who hasn't been doing shit, DFS, who doesn't do shit offensively, and then let Tim Hardaway Jr. have terrible shooting performances. If that's going to happen, you're going to lose to whoever. It doesn't matter who you face on the other end. It doesn't matter if it's a good Clipper team. You're going to lose most games in the NBA, period. All right? You can't run this lineup out. And then you're facing a small ball team, and you still have friggin' Maxi Kleber and Porzingis out there. Why is Maxi Kleber out there? I have no friggin' idea. I don't know why he's been playing all year. And you're going to say, oh, because he spaces the floor. He's terrible. He's terrible. So whatever, like Tony said, whatever they have to do to change something up, I'm all for. If it's starting Brunson, Burke, any smaller guy who, they can run a small ball and try and match the Clippers. And who knows, maybe it doesn't work, but I think it's way better than having guys like Maxi Kleber playing 30-plus minutes. It's just
it might not
going to
work, but
win.
I guarantee you it's not going to work with Kleber in there.
No.
So you might as well try.
And what do they have to lose? They're underdogs anyways. They've been dogs. Like the Clippers were the favorite. They weren't even supposed to be in this series. People were literally talking about a sweep before game one. Sweep. Everyone was talking about it. The Clippers were one of the best teams in the league. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Especially in the second half, they had a net rating of 14.3.
Yeah.
The second half of the season. I mean, they rolled to the playoffs on fire.
What does Dallas have to lose? I mean, Rick Carlisle's got to go in saying, screw it. I'm going to just try something out, and it's going to be weird, and maybe it doesn't work, but give your team a chance. Like, try something. You can't just keep running the same thing out and trusting that Luka is just going to start making those really difficult shots, because if he's not making them, you are completely screwed. Like, you have no shot.
Okay, well, I agree with you guys. I think Jalen Brunson's been their second best player. To me, he should be in the starting lineup tonight. We will see. So we've given all the good Dallas loves. Dallas, we've put our pom-poms on, but I think that Mangone's going to go the opposite way. Mangone, we were on the Clippers. They betrayed us. I think you're willing to maybe take them back and forgive their previous transgressions. Is this true?
I mean, I'm like begrudgingly forgiving them, right? Like I have series bets on them, so like I need them. It's kind of like I got screwed over by the girl, but like I still don't have an apartment to live in, so like I'm gonna keep milking it and stay a little longer. I think they're fine. I think they're gonna get the job done. Sounds like they're a little banged up. I mean, Luka might not be as banged up as they're saying. Tim Hardaway Jr. too, right? Like he's a little banged up as well, and he's been on fire. I mean, he has been the guy in the Porzingis trade that has mattered at least in this series. So, which is kind of funny to think. But I do want to see more Brunson. Like I know Tony mentioned Burke. I think they need to use more Brunson, if anything. I know Josh Richardson.
Put them both in there.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Richardson's another one. Weren't his minutes kind of down? Like, I noticed earlier in the series, I want to see recently. Yeah, so, like, Richardson's playing, like, 17, 19, 16, 21 minutes. Like, we might have to get those up a little bit more for Richardson. Like, just go a little smaller and try and, like, live with it. I think that's what they have to do. I also feared, and I mean feared that JC, are you saying I'm on the favorite? I was
no, he's talking to Greg Russo in the chat.
I'm talking about Captain Obvious over here, Gregory Russo. I'm just having fun with my guy, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure. I didn't know if that
favorites. I mean, Gregory Russo.
I didn't mean to interrupt the Mangone monologue. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
It is funny though, Mangone. It is fun though, Mangone. I'm talking about people being always on the favorites, and Mangone thinks I'm talking about it.
Because it flashed on my screen out of nowhere. I mean,
I'm adding the dude in the chat. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know I did that because it made me laugh. I'm sorry. The Mangone monologue will be in text.
You said, I can't wait till we get to this game. I'm going to get on Mangone, and then I see this. I'm thinking that's what it was. So I'm looking over my shoulder for JSU. That's what I'm doing there. But,
I got this guy here. He's killing me right now.
I will say the thing that I do want to look at really close is I'm curious how Carlisle makes the adjustment tonight. And my fear is Ty Lue, I feel like adjusts a little slow. Like if Carlisle makes an adjustment, it'll get me a little bit worried for sure. So I do think the Clippers take it though. This isn't a best bet or anything. I'm not all in on them. I already have some series bets with them. I had the Bucks on them.
You've already backpedaled too. This series hasn't treated you as good as I gave you the L on the other one. You backpedaled here, so you got a tough series going.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a series that, again, like I watched. If you watch those first couple of games, and I'll admit I wasn't able to watch a couple of the Clippers wins as closely, but watching those losses were very hurtful. They were rough to watch. The defense was awful. So
JSU's giving you the blueprint, man. Going, you never take your L till you're dead.
Facts.
Oh, for sure. I took it early for sure. And again, it was the PTSD from the last year. Listen, I thought the Clippers were like a stone lock, like to take the title last year. I felt very good about them. So it hurt for sure.
This is my point, though. If everyone goes back in this chat, they were all on the Clippers, all of you fools, and now you're back. We're back in the same situation where the series is tied, and everyone's just like, Dallas is dead. They're 7.5 point. Like what? They're 7.5 point dogs. What are we talking about?
JSU AirPod pulls his pants off to Dallas. Like you love.
I don't. JSU, for the record, I don't think they're dead, but I do want to see what the adjustment is. Right? If you think they can make the adjustment, then sure.
AirPod loves.
So JSU,
I do love Dallas. Rick Carlisle.
So JSU, you're the Dallas coach here, right? You're the Dallas guy. What's the adjustment they make? Get the lotion out, build the rotation. What do they do to them?
Mangone, literally, I just don't want to see Kleber in the starting lineup. I'll be happy if I see it.
Or
like anyone.
One of them out.
So what are you putting in there? What's your starting five tonight?
I mean, I would go with a Brunson or a Trey Burke and get a score.
Why can't we play them both? You guys keep saying one of them. Why can't I play them both?
Who's at the 5?
I don't care who's at the 5. The Clippers don't have a 5.
They could get rid of DFS or Porzingis.
Who's the Clippers 5?
Batum, Morris,
exactly.
Reggie Jackson.
5 for.
Yeah,
you can go. Yeah, I mean, you can't go Tim Hardaway Jr., but DFS.
Go
maybe.
Anybody. Play a track meet with them. Go smaller than that.
Wait, yeah, you can. I mean, Nick Batum's not like. What, are you really worried about?
Nick Batum going to take you down to the post?
I mean, he'll try.
I mean, if Kawhi wants to back you down and just do his thing,
that's fine.
But
Tyler, you've been silent so far. Mangone's on the Clippers train. What do you think?
At 7.5, I got to lean Dallas.
Yeah, that line's way too high.
That
just
line's
makes me
wrong.
worried that they know that Luka's screwed up.
That line's wrong, and I think it's one of them things where, like, if he does have that nerve problem in his neck, he might be able to get through, like, the first half of the game fine, and then it starts to linger. You might be able to catch the Clippers at a nice price where Dallas comes out, and they blow him out in the first 2 quarters, and then you see him start on the bench with that heating pad again, and then here come the Clippers, and they win the game late. But everyone keeps talking about the guards they're going to bring off the bench. They brought in the big guy, what's his name, Boban Marjanovic, for 14 minutes last game, and he scored 12 minutes. He scored 12 points in that quick span. Carlisle might go right back to that, and that makes me love the under.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a spot for the under in this game at 217.5. I think both teams come out and key in on defense, and it's a pivotal game too. So give me the under.
All right. Tyler likes the under. Mangone's on Clippers Island here, thinking that they get the cover. So definitely be fun to see who gets the bragging rights here. I think that's pretty good for tomorrow's games. Let me just get some quick thoughts from you guys while I still have everybody on the panel here. What do you guys think about Tony? I'll start with you. Lakers Suns tomorrow night. Do you think the Suns finish them off? Is that one over?
I mean, it depends on AD, obviously. He looked decent to me in warm-ups yesterday. The guy just has a huge puss. I can't believe it. But I don't know. Phoenix looks like the better team. It's always a crime to bury LeBron before he's officially eliminated. I feel bad doing it, but I think Phoenix closes them out. I'm sure LeBron will make me pay for this take, and he'll probably – I mean, you don't ever want to bury LeBron until he's gone. I'll tell you that much. But he's up against it this time, man. That Phoenix team is just better within this Lakers roster. I guess give me Phoenix, but I reluctantly think LeBron might come for me.
And then the other question I got, and I'm going to ask everyone on the panel just the same questions about these two games or these two questions.
Yeah.
The Bucks,
I think Denver closes out Portland.
That's a hot take. And hopefully we'll get you on Friday to do a victory lap.
Yeah, I'm coming on for sure for that. Yeah, I want to stare man going down.
I'm coming on now just to make sure Big T doesn't victory lap. I'm going to be there to victory lap him.
My last question for you guys, though, is going to be the Bucks. Now it's plus 175 against the Nets. I've been pretty high on the Bucks this year. Yeah. Do you think they've got a chance against the flying offense of Brooklyn?
I'm taking the Bucks for sure. I've been the biggest Bucks hater. Mm-hmm. I think they match up great with the Nets, so yeah. I'm taking the Bucks for sure. I think they might handle them too. It'll be a very hot take, but I think they could close them out in a short series. I like their matchups. It'll be my hottest take of the playoffs, and especially because I'm the biggest Bucks hater there is. I think it's a line for the Bucks. I don't know how the Nets are going to guard them. and I think the Bucks can guard them. So I think it's going to be a short series. I'm picking the Bucks in 5. I think they are a complete mismatch. I think we realize it early too. I think in like game 1, early game 2, we're like, oh man, this team's just better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I tell you what, if Embiid's really out, that plus 950 not looking
I know
too bad, huh, JSU?
everything's aligning for Giannis. It's all coming together for him.
JSU, number 1, do you think Phoenix finishes off tomorrow? And 2, Bucks Nets at plus 175 for the Bucks. What do you think? Would you get involved in there?
Yeah, I mean, if AD's not playing tomorrow, then I don't know. It's going to be tough for the Lakers.
He's got to play. There's no way he's not playing.
He's got to at least try. I think he tries.
I think he tries to play, but I mean, if he's not like healthy, you know what I mean?
He might be worse like Chris Paul was in game 2, though, where it actually hurts your team.
It's possible. I mean, you'll know right away. Like, you'll be able to tell if he's like struggling to move around and not being aggressive. You'll know. But the Bucks series, that was the other question.
Yeah, at plus 175. Like, obviously, if it's even, maybe you'd bet the Nets, but at plus 175, you got to consider the Bucks, right?
Yeah, and so I mean, there's definitely more value, I think, taking the Bucks side here for the series. I think the one thing that the Bucks have against the Nets for sure is, man, they killed Miami on the boards. They're going to do the same thing to the Nets. Like, that's for sure their biggest strength is just rebounding. They're going to dominate the boards against the Nets for sure. I don't know, though. Tony's very confident about them being able to guard the Nets offense across the board. I don't think so. I get that Drew Holiday and, like some of these guys are good defenders, really good defenders. Giannis, they'll probably put Giannis on KD, and Drew will play one of Harden and Kyrie. I honestly think he should be on Harden personally because he has the ball in his hands more. So it'll be more like on-ball defense that he has to deal with. But I think the Nets are actually they're just going to be such a tough matchup. It's going to be high-scoring games back and forth, and the Nets are just going to bank these threes. These guys are so good off the dribble and spotting up for three. They have 4 3-point shooters that are really, really good and can get streaky hot too, may I add, against the Bucks team that is going to just, by the way they play, give up those 3 looks. So I think it's going to be tougher than Tony thinks. I think the Nets end up winning the series. So I have a little different take, but I do agree. Like the series pricing, the Bucks plus 175. It's not a terrible bet.
All right, Travis. Same 2 questions. Does Phoenix finish it off tomorrow night? And Bucks Nets, is there value on the Bucks at plus 175?
Yeah, I mean, a lot depends on the injury stuff, but I've liked Phoenix all year, and I couldn't really jump on them in the series against the Lakers. But of course, things change, and that series has changed a ton. Everyone thought that they were dead with Chris Paul. Now they're back alive, obviously, and they've been impressive. So I do think Phoenix kind of gets the job done. But I'm excited to, I'm kind of like Tony. Like I'm excited to see if LeBron can, come back, right? I mean, listen. Maybe we get 2 vintage LeBron games. I mean, he's getting older. We're not going to get many more of them. So if we get them, don't be like, oh, I hate LeBron. Enjoy him, man, because you're not going to get many more of them. So that'll be fun to watch. And, I'm blanking on the Bucks and Nets. I've been on the Nets the whole way, basically. It's hard for me to get off of the Nets right now. I think they're really good. It's the threes are worth more than the twos. I do think my big concern, too, with the Bucks, I think they're better than they have been in the past. I am kind of like Tony. I've been hating on the Bucks with him, but my biggest concern is when these games, I don't see the Bucks winning in 5. And if they do win in 5, Tony, you kind of think, I think they need to win them handedly because if those games get close, Chris Middleton's not going to be able to always just get that bucket for him, right? The Nets have bucket getters, man. When that game is close and in those 5 minutes and when it matters, the Nets got all different guys that can get it. It's KD who can get a bucket, Kyrie, Harden. And if those games are close, it's hard to lean against the Nets. And I hope the Bucks can make it a competitive series because I might be live betting the Nets a ton.
Yeah, I'm not near.
I'm not even worried. As I'm watching the series, I could get a little.
Yeah, well, Travis wants me to enjoy the King LeBron James last season, but I would say it's like Game of Thrones, where this last season is just kind of ruining the whole body of work. The very end, it's just the finale is just so bad. Tyler, what do you think about tomorrow? Phoenix, LA, and did the Bucks get it done against the Nets?
I mean, that line is begging you to bet the Suns. at the plus money.
Yeah.
Even if AD plays,
Uh-huh.
he's not going to be 100%, which means he's not going to be able to guard Devin Booker on the other end. We seen what happened last night without him on the floor. Devin Booker went right back to what he looked like in the regular season. He dominated the game. AD plays. I mean, how much can he really do for them if them guys on the other end are just torching them? So I think the Suns get it done. And I was on the Bucks with you before the playoffs started, so I got to roll with them.
All right.
I've been saying it before. Whoever wins this series wins the championship.
All right. I think I might agree with you there as the West. It's a war of attrition over there, and all the stars seem to be dropping. So our guy, Eric Chang, says, I need something to wager my life savings on. Well, you're in luck because it's our best bet segment. Big T, we will start with you. What is your best bet for today? Side, total, or prop with the 4 games on the board?
My best bet, man. So it's got to be Washington, right? I'm trying to think of which one I'm never good with like total best bet.
Yeah, it's tough to just choose one. That was my hardest part. To doing this.
It's got to be Washington, though, I guess. I mean, I can't see them. I definitely like Washington the best. Probably even money line. What price can we get on the money line?
Right now, Washington
I see like
money line plus
215.
220.
Yeah, let's make that my best bet. Wizards plus 220.
All right. Scott Foster in the chat says the Wizards are a money line lock.
I love it because that's my best bet too, Big T. We're going 2 for 2, baby. Washington.
All right. JSU likes Washington as well. Anything you want to throw in there, or did Big T sum it up?
No, that was perfect. That's exactly what I was going to go with anyway. So.
All right. Travis, best bet for the day. Side, total, prop. What do you like?
Yeah, so I'll give you I love the Wizards, the +6, but I mean, listen, this is a show, and I would be wrong to not pick the Atlanta Hawks money line 1-2-3 Cancun for the Knicks. See you later, Joey Work. Peace out. ATL closes it in 5. We're going to the next round, and if we get the Wizards, see us in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow, that was a good best bet, Tyler. you want to follow that?
We're sticking to that game, but we're going with the under. It's hitting all 4 of the games before this, so we're just going to roll with that. I think both teams go out there. You're going to get an intense environment in the Garden, with that being an elimination game. I wouldn't be surprised if you see both teams just stay in the 90s and it's not even break 200.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see a slow place there at all. And my best bet, I'm going to take the Mavericks plus 7.5. I just think the line's wrong. The line should be 4, even at home for the Clippers, even when you adjust to the new home court advantage, not the regular season with no fans in there. I still think this line should be 4. It's 7.5. I could get burned. If we see Luka and he can't shoot at the beginning of the game, I'll chalk it off as an L. But going off what I've seen so far, going the fact that he's a young guy, hopefully be able to recover from this quickly, the line just seems wrong. I'm going to go ahead and take the Dallas Mavericks plus 7.5. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. Tony, you want to let everyone know the content you got going on over at Run Pure Sports this week?
Yeah, I mean, we're covering all the playoffs, obviously, baseball. We got a golf show tonight, me and JSU. Who knows who else will pop in with us. We always have special guests on there for the Wednesday show. I know I enjoy that show. JSU enjoys it. We have some drinks, talk some golf winners. But, I mean, we got everything covered like always. So one price, I always say $100 gets you the bet side, the DFS side, everything for $100. Definitely the best way to go for your buck because you get everything. I mean, all the bet side, picking winners daily, DFS side winners. No reason not to just pay $100. I think it's $30 a week, $100 for the month. Sign up for that package for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best value in sports gambling information out there on the web, and it's something that we can be proud of, and Hoop always brings it up. You guys don't jack it up when baseball season starts. You don't have to buy a baseball package. You don't have to buy a hockey package. One price fits all. Once you're a member, once you're part of the team, you get access to all the information. JSU, do you got anything else?
People too, right? Like how many people? We got like 40 people now that are profitable sports better, DFS, different people. You get just access to so many people. It's just the best value there is.
All right, JSU, you're doing the final countdown tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll be on there 5:30 Eastern time with my boy Big T. We'll be back on there. I think Holden's going to be back hosting the show today. So
Holden's back after his week-long vacation again. I mean, it must be nice to get week-long vacations.
Holden's back. He had his little vacation. He's back, ready to go. So I talked to him a little early. He's ready to go. And then we got the golf show, like Big T said. So Man, we got we're on triple duty today, Big T. We got 3 shows. We're not running. We're picking winners all throughout the day. Come join us. Run Pure Sports. We'll be on 5:30 Eastern Time. That's a premium show. And then 9 p.m. for all the people Eastern Time, 9 p.m.
And Mangone, we know how much the chat loves you and loves to follow your content, whether they're fading you or tailing your picks. Where can they find you this week? What you got going on?
Yeah, like and subscribe to the video. Don't fade the like button, though, right? You can fade my picks, but don't fade the like button. Don't do that, please. Don't fade the subscribe. Those are the one things I don't want you to fade. But yeah, hit those, and then I'll be doing. I don't think I have a show today. Maybe I'll pop on with Big T and JSU if they want. Maybe I'm happy to always jump on. But I'll be doing the cash chart for the MLB today, and I'll be in the NBA chat, obviously talking about that. And I'll be playing some NBA DFS. I'll have some bets out there. So I'll have it all. I've got to finish up my golf content. So we have it all at Run Pure Sports. We're grinding all the sports, no days off, and all for one price. So check that out. Use the code GetBets to get the bet side as well, or use the code RPSHeater25 for 25% off your first payment.
Yeah, and like I said, no better value in sports gambling information. Tyler and I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then I will go ahead and jump on Keg Live tomorrow night because we're going to live bet the NBA games tomorrow night, watch some baseball and all that stuff. We will have Hoop tomorrow for sure. I'm still working on Titletown. AP will be back on Friday. Gentlemen, you're always welcome. Just let me know if you'd like a link, if you want to come on and take a victory lap tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Mangone said it, but please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow. Run Pure.